Welcome students. Today our topic is insulators. In transmission and distribution line we are using insulators to support the conductors. An electrical insulator is a material in which the electron does not flow freely from the atom of the insulator, have tightly bound electrons whose internal electric changes do not flow freely, or we can say that our insulator which is not a conducting material. The various type of properties of the insulator which we are using, these properties are: it has a high mechanical strength in order to withstand conductor load, wind load or ice load, etc. So it has to be a very good or a high mechanical strength. Next is the high electrical resistance of insulator material in order to avoid leakage current to earth. So it has to be very high resistance. High high relative permittivity of insulator material in order that dielectric strength is high. So the dielectric strength of the insulating material must be very high. The insulator material should be non-porous, free from impurities and cracks, otherwise the permittivity will be lower. If the impurities are in the insulator, then the permittivity of the insulator is very low. And finally, the high ratio of puncture strength to flashover. If the flashover is occur on the insulator or near the insulator, so it should not be puncture. Now, the material which we are using for the insulator, we have various type of material which we are using. The first we have the porcelain insulator. Porcelain is the most commonly used material for overhead line insulators, or we can say the overhead insulator in the present scenario or the present time. The porcelain is aluminum silicate. The aluminum silicate is mixed with plastic kaolin, feldspar and quartz to obtain final hard and glazed porcelain insulator material. The other type of material for the insulator which we are using is the glass and the polymer, which we are discuss later. The properties of the porcelain insulating material is that its dielectric strength is 60 kV per centimeter, compressive strength is 70,000 kg per centimeter square, and the tensile strength is 500 kg per centimeter square. These are the properties of the porcelain type of insulator, or we can say for the porcelain insulator. And the next is what we are using is the glass type of insulator. In the picture you are seeing the glass insulator. This material, the outer ring is the material, it is the glass. So glass material is definitely in popular nowadays. The properties is that the dielectric strength of this glass insulator is 140 kV per centimeter, and the compressive strength is 10,000 kg per centimeter square, and the tensile strength of this glass insulator is 35,000 kg per centimeter square. Now, when we using the glass insulator, it has some advantages over the porcelain insulator, and these are: it has a very high dielectric strength compared to porcelain. Its resistivity is also very high. It has a low coefficient of thermal expansion. It has a higher tensile strength compared to porcelain insulator. As it is transparent in nature, is not heated up in sunlight as porcelain. So porcelain insulator is heated in the sunlight, and while the glass insulator is not heated up. The impurities and air bubbles in the porcelain insulator, in the glass insulator is easily detectable, but in the porcelain insulator is not detectable. While the glass insulator are transparent, so it is easily detected. Glass has a very long service life because the mechanical and electrical properties of glass do not affected by aging, and the glass is cheaper than the porcelain. and it also has some disadvantage, like the moisture can easily be condensed on the glass surface, and hence air dust will be deposited on the wet glass surface, which will be provide a path to the leakage current of the system. Now, the next insulator which we are using is the polymer insulator. A polymer has a two parts. One is glass fiber, a reinforced epoxy resin, which is in a rod shape, and a silicone rubber which is on the upper. You see in the image, the upper side, it in the ring form. You see it is the silicone rubber, and inside there is a fiber reinforced epoxy resin in a rod. Now, the advantage of the polymer insulator is that it is very lightweight compared to porcelain or a glass insulator. As composite insulator is flexible, the change of the breakage become minimum. Because of lighter in weight and smaller in size, the insulator has lower initial cost. Including in that, because of lightweight, the overall the weight of the conductor, which include our insulator, is also very low. So we can say that our sag is also minimum. It has a higher tensile strength as compared to the porcelain insulator. Its performance is better, particularly in polluted areas. Due to lighter weight, polymer insulator imposes less load to the supporting structure. Less cleaning is required due to hyperbolic nature of the insulator. Now, the disadvantage of these polymer insulator is that the moisture may enter in the core if there is any unwanted gap between core and weather sheds. Now, we have the 5 type of insulator which we are using. These are the pin type insulator, a suspension type insulator, strain insulator, stray insulator, and the shackle insulator. In the picture you see the pin type of insulator. This type of insulator are used up to maximum 33 kV, but in generally we are using up to the 11 kV almost. These are the structure of the pin type insulator. You see the pictorial view. The conductor is supported above the insulator, and this conductor is typed like that. So this insulator is generally you can see just outside your house on the 0.4 kV line or on the 11 kV line. You see the various method of securing insulator, like the insulator has corrosive thread and the sheet board has corrosive thread, but it is provided with a soft washer on the top. I already told the wire, the conductor is just support on the conductor, and by the use of wire we just tighten it up. Now, the porcelain insulator has a corrosive thread, but they are lining with a soft material into which the corrosive steel pin is screwed up. So this is the cross section of the pin type insulator. This is a GI screw which is just in it, and it is just tied up on the pole. The pin type is used for transmission and distribution of electrical power at the voltage up to 50 kV, we can say that. The insulators are required to withstand both mechanical and electric stresses. The electrical breakdown of the insulator can occur either flashover or puncture. In the flashover, an arc occurs between the line conductor and insulator pin, and the discharge jump across the air gap, following short distances for the insulator, which is shown in the figure. You can see the figure which is show all the dimensions. Now, the next is what we are using is suspension type insulator. As the line voltage increases, the pin insulator to be used become heavy and complicated in construction. Also, it's increase the cost of the line, or the overall it increase the capital cost of the line. Further, the replacement of the damaged insulator will cost more. So, pin insulator is not economical in that case. So, we are using that suspension type insulator. For higher voltages, suspension insulator is used. A number of them are connected in series by metallic link to form a chain, and the line conductors are carried by the bottommost insulator. The advantage of this insulator are that each suspension is designed for 11 kV. So by connecting a number of such insulator, a string of insulator can be designed for any required voltages. Now you see the structure of the suspension type insulator. You see the pictorial view, and here the diagrammatic view. So it is just hang on the transmission line. Three discs are there, so it must be the 33 kV line, and the conductor just support at the bottom structure. We have three type of suspension type insulator, that heavyweight suspension type, cemented cap type, and core and link type of insulator. These three type of we are using. So this is a structure of the heavyweight suspension type. It is one of the earlier design and consists of one porcelain disc. The central top portion of the insulator consists of two curved tunnel, the panel of which are at right angle to each other, lead to covered steel. U-link are passed through these tunnels, and it is bolted to the two similar units at the top and bottom, which is shown in figure. It is bolted here and there, here and there. It is the advantage that its design is simple, no cement is required, and the porcelain in between the two tunnel is under compression only and provided a high mechanical strength to the insulator. Now here we have a cemented cap type insulator, and on the each insulator we are providing some cement, like you see in the figure. We are providing cement, and the galvanized steel pin is just inserted in that, and above that we also that galvanized steel cemented, and this galvanized arrangement is just imposed in that. So it consists of porcelain disc insulator, which is grooved at the bottom in order to increase the flashover distance. At the top of the insulator is cemented a galvanized cast iron cap. So the cap is provided here, the cap is provided on the top. In the hollow cavity of the insulator, a cemented galvanized forged steel pin. The lower and large end of this steel pin fit into the cavity of the steel cap of the lower suspension insulator and forms a ball and socket connection. I already told that we just cemented and we provide the galvanized steel pin from here. And the core and the steel core and link type insulator, it is a combination of both the above type of suspension insulator. In this, the advantage of heavyweight and cemented cap insulator have been grouped together. In this type, each disc insulator is symmetrically placed and conformed to electrostatic line of forces. Now we have a strain type of insulator. When there is a dead end of the line, or the line is corner or sharp curve, the line is subjected to a greater tension. In order to relieve the line of excessive tension, strain insulators are used. For low voltages, shackle insulator are used as a strain insulator. So you can see that the pole is there, and the strain insulator is connected in this form. So if we compare this form to the suspension type insulator, when the suspension type insulator on a pole, then these towers are just connected in a very straight line. Only 0 to 2 degree angle is allowable. But when the line is turned, or it is terminated, or maybe like a river crossing, road crossing, any type of crossing is there, and that place we are using the strain insulator. Because at that places the high tension is there, so high, or we can say that they are subjected to the greater tension. So this type of strain insulator are used on that places. The next is stay, or we can say stay insulator. The stay insulator just apply on the where we apply a guys and a stay. So on the pole is there, and it is just apply here. The logic behind to apply the insulator is that at the any fault condition when the leakage current is flow in the pole, so in any case this leakage current should not be flow in this conductor or in this supporting structure of the pole. So to save the human being or an animal, so the current will not be connected with the human being or an animal. So for the safety point of view, the conductor or the insulator will be placed at that position. The structure of that stay insulator you can see in the figure, and we just apply, one goes to the pole and one goes to the guy's structure. Next is the shackle insulator. The shackle insulator is basically used on the low tension line when the line is terminated or a turn. So at that place we are not be able to use a pin type insulator in that place. So at that place we are using shackle type insulator. You see the figure of the shackle insulator. Now again we have the last is we have a disc type of insulator. When we talk about the suspension type insulator or shackle type insulator, in which we are using number of discs are involved in that. So the only one unit we call a disc insulator, which is generally made of the porcelain or a glass, or modern scenario we are using the polymer insulator we are using. So the one disc is just for the use of the 11 kV. So if 3 disc we are seeing in a transmission line or distribution line, if we are seeing that 3 discs are there, so we can say that it is a 33 kV line. Now we are goes for the string efficiency. As stated above, the voltage applied across the string of suspension insulator is not uniform distributed across various unit or discs. The disc nearest to the conductor has a much lighter potential than the other disc. This unequal potential distribution is undescribable and it is usually expressed in terms of string efficiency. The ratio of voltage across the whole string to the product of number of discs and the voltage across the disc nearest to the conductor as known as string efficiency. So we can say that string efficiency is equal to voltage across the string divided by N into voltage across the disc near to the conductor, where N is equal to number of discs in the string. Now let the mutual capacitance between the link is capital C and the shunt capacitance between the link and the earth is C1. Voltage across the first unit, which is nearest to the cross arm, is V1, and voltage across the second unit is V2, voltage across the third unit is V3, and voltage across the fourth unit is V4, and the voltage between the conductor and the earth is V. So we are here we are assuming that we have a 4 unit or a 4 insulator in a string. So here the diagram, which is equal to the 4 unit string insulator. I already said that the conductor capital C is there and C1 is there, and V1, V2, V3, V4 is there, and the voltage between the conductor and the earth is V. So let C1 by C is equal to K, or C1 is equal to Kc. Now apply Kirchhoff first law at node A. This node A, we are applying Kirchhoff first law, and what we get? We get I2 is equal to I1 plus I1. I2, which is equal to I1, this small I1 plus capital I1, and we put the values. The I2 is equal to omega C V2, omega C V2, and I1 is equal to omega C V1, and this I1 is equal to omega C1 V1. And now we get the value, we put the value of this C1, which is Kc, we put here, and now omega is cancelled and we get the value of V2, which is equal to V1 1 plus K. Now applying Kirchhoff first law at node B. Now again, which is equal to I3 is equal to I2 plus I1, sorry, I3 is equal to I2, capital I2 plus small I2. Now we put the value of these, then we get omega C V3 is equal to omega C V2 plus omega C V1 plus V2. We put the value of I2, which is equal to I2 is equal to omega C1 V2. So, and we put the value of V2, so we get this. Now, voltage across the second shunt capacitance C1 from the top unit, which is equal to V1 plus V2. So, omega C V3 is equal to omega C V2 plus omega C V1 plus V2. We put the values. Now, V2 is equal to K V1 plus V2, which is equal to K V1 plus V2 1 plus K. Now, again we solve it and finally we get the value of V3, which is equal to V1 1 plus 3K plus K square. Now again apply Kirchhoff first law at node C, and by this I4 is equal to I3 plus small I3. We put the value just like previous, and finally we get the value like V4 is equal to V1 1 plus 6K plus 5K square plus K cube. We get the final figure. Now the voltage between the line conductor and earth is V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus V4, and which is, now we added all the voltages and put the value of V2 plus V3 plus V4, and what we get, V is equal to V1 4 plus 10K plus 6K square plus K cube. Now thus V1 by 1, V2 by 1 plus K, V3 by 1 plus 3K plus K square, V4 by 1 plus 6K plus 5K square plus K cube, which is equal to V by 4 plus 10K plus 6K square plus K cube. So the greatest voltage will be obviously V4, which is equal to this formula. So now the percentage efficiency, which is equal to V by and V4, the voltage across the string into divided by and into voltage across the nearest most unit. So we put the values and we get the percentage string efficiency, or where n is equal to 4, and or we can say the percentage string efficiency is equal to we get by this formula. Now this string efficiency have to be improved. So we have methods by which we can improving the string efficiency. First is that by using insulator with large disc or provided each insulator unit with a metal cap. So if we using the large disc or each insulator unit is using with a metal cap, so it is just like a we are imposing, or we can say that our capital cost is very high and our overall structure should have be very strong and should have to be very tall. So this can be withstand with this kind of large disc. So it is not economical viable. And second is by using large cross arm. So when we are using the long cross arm, so the distance of the conductor from the tower is increased, less C1, lesser K, and from the improving, it improves the our string efficiency. But when we are using a longer cross arm, our overall tower structure has to be increased. So it include also that our overall capital cost have to be increased. So it is also not economical viable. Next is by grading the capacitance. So in this we are providing the capacitance which we are using in the different capacitance rating providing. So by this grading our string efficiency also will increase. So if we are consider a 4 unit string and we have the capacitor like C1 is there here, and the capacitance C of the top unit, and let the capacitance of the other units C2, C3 and C4. We have a capacitor there is C1, next C2, C3, and we have a C4, and the voltage of these insulators are V, and from top to bottom, from line connector to earth we have a V. So assuming C1 is equal to Kc, now applying Kirchhoff first law at node A, then I2 is equal to I1 plus I1. Then we get the value C2 is equal to C plus Kc, which is equal to C1 plus K. Now apply Kirchhoff law at node B. Then we have the value of C3, which is equal to C1 plus 3K. Now and finally apply Kirchhoff law at node C. We have the C4, which is equal to C plus 1 plus 6K. Thus it will be possible to utilize the potential across all the unit if their capacitances are in the ratio of 1 is to 1 plus K is to 1 plus 3K is to 1 plus 6K. So our string efficiency will be increase by grading the insulator. Now, by using the guard ring, we are also increase the capacitance. Like from the line of the insulator, we are just guarding the our capacitance of the, and we are providing the capacitance Cx, Cy, Cr, just like we have using the 4 insulator in this. Let the capacitance between the link and the shield are Cx, Cy, Cr respectively. Let V is the potential across the each unit, and since the capacitance of each unit is same, therefore their charging current I1, I2, I3 and I4 would be same. Let is I. If C1 is equal to Kc, let this C1 is equal to Kc, then apply again Kirchhoff law at load A, then I1 plus Ix is equal to I plus Ix, or Ix is equal to Y1. Similarly, Iy is equal to Y2, I3 is equal to Iz, or I1 is equal to omega CV1 is equal to omega KCV, I2 is equal to 2 omega C1 which is equal to 2 omega KCV, I3 is equal to 3 omega C1 V which is equal to 3 omega KCV. So, the potential causing difference is Ix is 3V, which is the voltage across the unit leaving the top on. So, Ix is equal to omega Cx plus, so Ix is equal to omega Cx into 3V is equal to 3 omega Cx V. Now, when we comparing our equations, so 3 omega Cx V is equal to omega Kc V, or Cx, this Cx is equal to Kc by 3. Now, the potential causing current Y is 2V, and therefore Iy is equal to 2 omega Cy V. Now again comparing via the equations, Cy is equal to Kc. Now for the Iz is equal to omega Cz V. Now comparing, when we comparing the equation, Cz is equal to 3 Kc. Now in general we can say that when we have n unit, I1 is equal to omega Kc V, which is equal to Ix is equal to n minus 1 omega Cx V. Then Cx is equal to Kc upon n minus 1, Cy is equal to 2 Kc upon n minus 2, and Cz is equal to 3 Kc upon n minus 3. So the capacitance of the pith metal to the link between to the line is given by Cp is equal to P Kc divided by n minus P. P is the pith metal link. So by this we can calculate the capacitance of the, and we can increase our string efficiency. Now, if we have an example that in a 5 disc insulator string, capacitance between the each unit and the earth is 1/6 of the mutual capacitance. Find the voltage distribution across each unit in the string as percentage of voltage of the conductor to earth. Now, what we have to calculate? We have to calculate the string efficiency and how the efficiency affected by the rain. Now, we draw the particular diagram for the 5 disc insulator. In this, the equivalent circuit of 5 disc insulator is shown in the figure. The ratio of the capacitance to the mutual capacitance K, which is equal to C1 by C, it is given, it is 1/6. Now, let the voltage of the conductor to earth is V volts. Now, from we have V2 is equal to V1 1 plus K. We put the value of K. We have 7/6 V1, or 1.1667 V1. Now, from this we have the formula, we get the V3 and V4 we are also calculating. Now, apply Kirchhoff law at node D. I5 is equal to I4 plus I small I4, and we put the values, and V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus V4. Now, we get the value of V5, which is equal to V1 1 plus 10K plus 15K square plus 7K cube plus K raised to power 4, and we put the value and got the value of V5. Now, the voltage between the line conductor and earth, which is equal to V, is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus V4 plus V5. We put the values and get the value of V, which is and now the voltage across the first unit, which is equal to V, is equal to V1, which is equal to V by 5 plus 20K plus 21K square plus 8K cube plus K raised to power 4, and we got the value of, which is equal to V by 8.954 or 11.168%, which is the answer. Now, Across the V2 we put the value, and we have that 13.029 percentage, which is the percentage in the form of V. And for the third unit we have we put the value V3, which is equal to 7.062 percentage of V, V4 which is a 23.938 percentage of V, and V5 is the 34.804 percentage of V. So for the string efficiency, the string efficiency is V by n Vn into 100. We put the value of the Vn V, and the efficiency is 57.46 percentage. Now the string efficiency will be improved in rain due to decrease in value of K. The value of K is decreased. That's all for today. The next topic we are discussing in next class.